Alright everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Pokemon Black 2. I've got a very interesting episode for us to do today. This wasn't necessarily the plan actually, but because of just generally thinking about what to do, something a little different, maybe even slowing down the pace a little bit, I figured that this was something to do, especially since I've kind of had to rethink my team a little bit. I'm very happy with the team that we've got so far. The problem that I've got is that there are certain Pokemon that I wanted that I realized I couldn't actually get. Which is fine. It's just a frustration. So, I've gone ahead and I've made some changes to the way that I'm going to be some of the Pokemon that I'm going to have on the team. I was initially going to have a main water type, and I may still do that. However, I need to get a water type to get water types. It's one of those kind of weird things. So, without further ado, we're going to get a water type. And luckily enough, there's a water type right over here. So, I will see you when I get to the said water type. Oh, and there we have it. Peekaboo, the Pokemon that, I'm gonna be honest, I think is pretty forgettable. Yeah, but there we go. We're gonna catch a Meryl today. I've realized that, I'm not sure which Pokemon's gonna be best to obtain this Pokemon. But anyway, yeah, so the Pokemon I wanted was Meryl, and I don't know if I'm going to keep Meryl on the team. The reason is I don't want any types to overlap because I want a big team. And I have never, not once, never used a Azurill, Meryl, or Azumarill. Never ever done it. And I thought, you know, maybe I was looking at the Pokemon incoming routes and thinking, you know, it's probably, maybe it wouldn't be my first choice, but of the Pokemon I've got access to, maybe it's worth it. I'm not sure. And, you know, I just kept looking through and I thought, of all the Pokemon, there's only one water type that's actually reasonably not hard to get. And Meryl is really that Pokemon. Now, we could have gotten an Azurill right at the start of the game, but actually, that's a friendship evolution, I'm pretty sure. They're tricky. I didn't want to do 2 friendship evolutions. So, we've got Meryl, the Aqua Mouse Pokemon. The oil-filled tail functions as a buoy, so it's fine even in rivers with strong currents. And we're going to go ahead and give a nickname to this Meryl. I thought very long and hard about it. We are going to give it a fun name. I had an idea for this regardless. But the Heart Gold and Soul Silver protagonists, Ethan and Lyra, were going to be the name because depending on which character you get, they are with a Meryl. So I just thought that would be a kind of fun name for that Pokemon. And there we go. That is going to be that. So the next thing is, you know, what are we to do now? You know, we've got ourselves a Pokemon, but what more fun things can we do now that we've caught a Pokemon? You know. And I think catching a Pokemon that, you know, another Pokemon would be another fun idea. Now, the Pokemon I'm then going to go and catch is not a team member, not for our team necessarily. We already have a Pokemon that this would overlap with. And the Pokemon I then want to catch in probably tomorrow's episode, I don't know specifically how I'm going to break this up, but Pokemon in tomorrow's episode that I want to catch is a Pokemon that would also overlap with this Pokemon. I'm sure you can understand which Pokemon it is by this point. So I don't really need to say much more than that. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to give the experience share right now to Goggles. And we're going to get the super repels going. And let's see what we can do through this cave, the Relic Cave, or whatever it's called. And hopefully we do have a lot of battles today. I've noticed that as I've been editing through these videos that we actually haven't had a lot of battles, or at least a lot less than I expected we were having. I thought we were doing a lot more. Alright, so, yeah. I was thinking about how many different Pokemon that we haven't really encountered, or trainers we haven't really encountered. And I thought that's kind of odd, because I would have thought we'd had a lot more battles in some of these episodes. Actually, one other thing I was thinking about was oh wait, that's a super repel. But one other thing I was thinking about was how many Pokemon from Pokemon Black and White 2 have so many overlapping types, to the point where, let's say you're thinking, okay, I want to use a Bisharp, but it's a Pokemon that comes quite late in your, game cycle. It's not a Pokemon that you necessarily are going to be able to just... Pawniards don't just appear, like, super quickly. And, we'll just do the battle. But Pawniard's actually a good example because, one, you get it late in the game, and secondly, you also don't get some of these Pokemon really until you've, like, defeated all the gym leaders. It's not even late. It's like you don't get them almost at all. And then the other side of it is they all, like, Pokemon like that, they'll all be the same type, or share one type together. But if you wanted to do like a mono dark team, and just let's say any of these games, but let's say specifically Pokemon Black version. I think this is the Relic Castle, so we're gonna come back to that. But you could have on your team, you could have a what's it called? You could start with a Purloin and have a Liepard by the end of, or from pretty early on in your journey, regardless of the game. But on top of that, you've also got, by Route 4, you got Scrafty, you've got Crocodile, and Mandibuzz. I think that's a different area. And then, again, later, Pawniard, you've got Hydreigon. We've got another battle. Other than that, as well, I mean, Absol is another one, Drapion, Umbreon, I'm not sure if you can get, like, a Shiftry, or if you can get Pokemon like Sneasel, or Houndoom, or Sharpedo, or maybe Crawdon's available in this game, but The point being, this game has so many dark types. The amount of options for dark types in this game are just insane. And I think this is the only place we haven't checked out. Trying to get all the shards as well, because if we just grind shards, we can get some items and some moves, is what I actually mean, which will be very helpful for our Pokemon. Because there's the move tutors. So let's go ahead and enter the Relic Castle then here. And lo and behold, here we are. I mean, this is a location that normally you would think of as not accessible until the post-game, but here it is. And here's Volcarona. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save, and we'll take on the Volcarona. Alright, so actually I should change the Pokemon which is gonna lead. I was thinking, actually, do we have like a Thunder Wave or something like that? I don't think we do. So that's gonna be something interesting. Alright, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. I think I'm gonna put Albie up front first. That'll be our way of doing things. So let's talk to Volcarona. And actually, if you want me to use Volcarona on our team, I will do it. I will replace Magmar with Volcarona, and I'll just change around which electric type I'm gonna get. It's not the biggest deal, but I do just want to see what people say, basically. I mean, Volcarona's a cool Pokemon and all, so, you know, definitely one that I would be interested in using, but also not necessarily. I mean, I've never used the Volcarona before, so like I definitely would have an interest in using it. It is just that obviously we've already got a fire type, so I would be replacing it because I don't want to overuse any types or overlap on any types. So we'll just have to see what happens. I'm thinking of feint attacking, because I don't think that's going to take it out. I think it's going to be incredibly weak. Yeah, and it's just going to knock it down a little bit. Regardless, being able to catch Volcarona is pretty cool anyway, and it'd be just kind of fun to do. And that's why I thought it would be something we can do. Catch Volcarona, see what happens. We've got a bunch of Ultra Balls, so we'll just keep on throwing those at it and see what happens. Obviously, Volcarona is a cool Pokemon. Alder has one, and I think there's other Pokemon you can get. I think you can get a... Is it... I'm trying to think of what the pre-evolution of Volcarona is, but I think you can actually get it. And oh my goodness, that's the second Pokeball. Wow. Well, here we are. Volcarona, the Sun Pokemon. Thought to be an embodiment of the sun, it appears during a bitterly cold winter and save Pokemon from freezing. And there we are. And we're going to call it Mothra again, because I think that name just fits. So there we go. But yeah, there we go. We've got ourselves Volcarona. That's pretty cool. Definitely not on the, necessarily probably on people's bucket list for this series up to this point, but there we go. And yeah, I don't know, I wonder if you can get out this way. I mean, I would just be interested to see where the rest of this leads. Well, it leads to an item. An Ultra Ball, in fact. we get back the one that we technically threw away. That's nice. But yeah, this game also throws just so many static encounters at you. It is crazy. Part of the reason why I wanted a Lucario was to basically force me to not use one of the other legendary trio Pokemon. Also, I want shards. It's in battle. Okay. I want the shards. I need, like, there's a move that I want, and it's like a 12 shard move, and I'm like, really? This is, I think, the way back to Castelia. But I don't want to... I want to do this and move boulders around, but I don't want to... what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to, like, jump down, so... And where does this go? This is just a big old winding path. I've never, like, fully explored this place. I feel like... Oh my goodness, there's just a thing full of items here. What the heck? You know, I feel bad never having fully explored this game. I think I just got overwhelmed with how many different things were in the game that I never thought I should just go and explore things. So, yeah, there we are. Alright. Well, let's head back then. And I think end off this episode. I'm still struggling with the team selection. Another Pokemon I thought to get was Aaron for an Aggron, and have another Aggron on our team. Because I quite like Aggron. And I'm like, oh, no, can't do that because, you know, we already have a Steel type on the team with Lucario. So it is a little bit of a limiting challenge, but I don't mind having some of these limitations because it just means that you have to think about your team build a little bit more and which Pokemon you can use and so on and so forth. And was this guy ever a battle? No? You're just collecting shards? Okay. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. If you've got some team selection ideas, or you think I need to change up my team and add Volcarona into it, then go ahead and let me know. I may not see them necessarily, and actually I'm just realizing this is not the end of the episode because I had a whole nother thing that I wanted to do in this episode, and I did spend like 10 minutes looking for Meryl. That's all in the recording. On top of all the other stuff we've been doing with battles and things, so we probably have a little bit of time in this episode that is left. So we're not going to end it here. We're going to keep going, because if I'm going to do a lot of, you know, side quest stuff, I'm going to do a lot of it. I'm not just going to do one thing at a time. We're also going to get some medals. And, yeah. Alright, let's head out. Because I wanted to get to the research facility on Route 6, and then start the next episode from there. Which is also part of the point of getting all the way here. So let's go back to the Repels, and we're gonna have some battles. Alright, let's continue onwards and upwards. I don't want to battle the Parasol ladies, but I guess we get another battle here. Alright, one of these is going to be a Fungus, so that other one's going to be a Fungus. I wonder if there's a hidden grotto over here. I never look for the hidden grottos. I never do. But anyway, here's Sharon. Oh, Joey, can you come with me for a moment? Alright, let's enter this building. No one really talks about it, but the record showed that there was a sudden drop in temperature near Lacunosa town. It was only for a moment, but it went down as low as minus 58 Fahrenheit. Oh my goodness. Not only that, but similar temperatures were recorded around Castelia City and Driftvale City. On top of that, that incident with Team Plasma, I think this needs some investigation before things go bad. I hate cold weather though. I'll give you this, it's a hidden machine which contains Surf. With this, please go to different places and check out what's going on. Let one of your Pokemon learn Surf and you can travel across the water. Alright. There we go, we got the HM for Surf. Sorry to slow you down. Some strange things may be happening, so be careful on your journey. And that's going to end off this episode. See, it didn't take too much longer to end off. But yes, that's going to be it. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.